Hi friends! So today I'm going to be reading a story to you. This story is called Pennies. Kind of a tongue twister, right? Pennies. This must be Benny on the front, right? We must know that that is Benny, our main character. So before I get started reading, I want you guys to think about the story that we read last week called What Do You Do? We were talking about what they spend their money on. And they said that they spend their money, when they go to work, they get money, and they use that money to buy what? There were three things. One was food, one was house, and one was clothes. Those are three things that those people were buying with their money. So I want you to think about some other things that people can buy with their money. And we're going to learn about what Benny can buy with his money. So let's look at a couple pictures together before we start. So we're just going to look at some of the pictures in our story. They have very pretty pictures in this book. So here's Benny, right? We know that's our main character. And he's got some money. See if we can find out what he's going to buy. I wonder what he's going to buy with his money. Okay, so that's just a little preview before we start. So what I want you to do today is to remember one thing that Benny buys with his pennies, okay? One thing that Benny buys, okay? That's your job. What's your job today? Remember one thing that Benny buys, okay? All right, listening ears, I'm going to get started. Benny's Pennies by Pat Brisson, illustrated by Bob Barner. Benny's Pennies. Benny McBride had 5 new pennies. "What should I buy?" he asked. "Buy something beautiful," his mom said. "Buy something good to eat," said his brother. "Buy something nice to wear," said his sister. "Woof, woof," said his dog. "Meow," said his cat. "Okay," Benny said, "I will." So Benny McBride, with his 5 new pennies, strolled out in the morning sun. A woman was cutting roses. Her name was Mrs. Hill. "Will you sell me a rose?" asked Benny. "Will you sell me a rose for a penny?" "Yes, I will," said Miss Hill. Then Benny McBride, with 4 pennies, a sweet-smelling rose, strolled on in the morning sun. A girl was baking cookies. Her name was Lucy May. "Will you sell me a cookie?" asked Benny. "Will you sell me a cookie for a penny?" "A cookie for a penny?" said Lucy May. "Okay." Then Benny McBride, with 3 new pennies, a sweet-smelling rose, and a soft, warm cookie, strolled on in the morning sun. A boy was making hats. His name was Michael Bess. "Will you sell me a hat?" asked Benny. "Will you sell me a hat for a penny?" "Yes, oh yes," said Michael Bess. Then Benny McBride with 2 new pennies, a sweet-smelling rose, a soft, warm cookie, and a fine paper hat strolled on in the morning sun. A butcher was cutting meat. His name was Mr. Hopper. "Will you sell me a bone?" asked Benny. "Will you sell me a bone for a penny?" "You're quite a shopper," said Mr. Hopper. Then Benny McBride with 1 new penny, a sweet-smelling rose, a soft, warm cookie, a fine paper hat, and a big, meaty bone strolled on in the morning sun. A man was catching fish. His name was Mr. Beale. "Will you sell me a fish?" asked Benny. "Will you sell me a fish for a penny?" "It's a deal," said Mr. Beale. Then Benny McBride with a sweet-smelling rose, a soft, warm cookie, a fine paper hat, a big, meaty bone, a floppy, wet fish, but no new pennies, strolled home in the morning sun. "I'm back," he called, "and I bought what you said." "It's beautiful," said his mom. Good," said his brother. "I like it," said his sister. "Woof, woof," said his dog. "Meow," said his cat. Thank you, Benny," they all said together. "You're welcome," said Benny McBride. The end. Wow, Benny bought lots of things with his 5 new pennies. Did he buy something for himself, or did he buy something for someone else? Yes, Benny bought things for other people. He bought something for everyone in his family, including his pets. Okay, so remember, your job today was to remember one thing that Benny buys. So if you can remember that, I want you to go tell somebody in your house one thing that Benny bought with his money. Okay, remember he had 5 pennies, and he spent all 5 of his pennies. What did he spend them on? What did Benny buy? I hope you enjoyed our story today, friends, and I will talk to you very soon. Bye.